Greetings, everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to talk about cities, disorder, and the 1260 frequency. So let us get comfortable, and maybe a little bit of calm energy will help with this one. So I'd like to start this one with a little poem that I wrote. The city sprawls in all directions, and traffic crawls like some infection. Twisted roads, endless borders, shift and turn, cause disorder. Clogged arteries, system under stress. Faster you try, more it makes a mess. 60-minute clock, 8-hour days. Living life like this will leave you in a haze. Shortest path, don't be late. Do the math, you should wait. People hurry to and fro, through the slurry, endless go. Money, time, that makes sense. To our mind, makes no sense. So cities and how they connect with the 1260 frequency, as well as what is known as historical materialism, which is kind of the driving force behind the time is money mindset. And so for this, I would like to read a little bit from Book of the Timespace, Cosmic History Chronicles, Volume 5. And we're going to start at Chapter 4, which is called Templates of Order and Disorder. I'm just going to read a little bit of this before we go on. A society is a reflection of the time it keeps. A time-keeping device is how time-space is organized. Everyone lives in a space. A program of time moves through that space so people coordinate their lives to that time. The rituals of civilized life are actually functions of different programs coded into time-keeping devices. For the ancients, timekeeping was primarily associated with the relationship of the patterns of stars in the sky, the seasons, and the moon. The need for a count of weeks or years might not have existed, though it appears they were aware of the passing of the 13 moons a year. The Lakota Sioux Indians tracked moon cycles on buffalo skins, and Neanderthal, or early Homo sapiens, in cave cultures, marked the lunation cycles on deer, ox, and cow horns. When we reach this stage of civilization with the creation of urban centers and the proliferation of matter, then the organization of life requires greater order. Civilization means living in cities. Modern cities, by nature, are highly chaotic. The chaos of the city is a result of urban zones sprawling out of control, showing a lack of planning. The spiral of the soul within matter creates greater and greater disorder. City maps contain a hodgepodge of streets that created different neighborhoods strung together by freeways, railroad lines, and subway trains. The primary purpose of these systems of transport is the movement of people in and out of the city to participate in the cycle of the 7-day work week. In this cycle, humans earn money for selling their body and soul to artificial time, usually 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. The week is often spent in anticipation of the weekend, when the human has 2 days of free time. What is the essence of civilization today? By means of mechanical transport for 5 days in a row, more and more humans jam into high-rise buildings to work at machines to earn money. At set periods, the buildings disgorge the humans who rush to places to eat and then rush back. Less people occupy the city on Saturdays and Sundays than on work weekdays. Work days in the central business district of any major metropolis are frantic. This mechanized process represents chaotic order, or entropy, that highlights the final stage of the Babylonian template governing civilization. Babylonian time runs against the grain of natural time. But even here, in this final stage of mechanized disorder, is the fulfillment of a cosmic pattern. So that's all I'm going to read from this. And hope you all join me on a little adventure through a city. So I figured for this little adventure we'd start here, and it seems we're at Municipal Lot 19. So let's catalyze some things, energize and do some self-generating. We're in the city of Windsor, Ontario, Canada. There's actually the government municipal buildings, but we're gonna walk this way and see what kind of chaos we can find as we talk about cities. Right here we got Caesars Windsor, location of a lot of money getting spent and a lot of money being made, obviously at the center. Now, even though we're going to focus on the disorder and chaos of the cities, it's not like everything's all bad. Just as the book had mentioned, everything is the fulfillment of a greater cosmic plan of order. And so even in the most frantic and chaotic, seemingly non-order, there is order. And, there are a lot of good things. Like, let's say, Caesars Windsor is a host to a lot of good events as far as music and concerts and the proliferation of art. And even there's some beautiful art on the buildings. Now, as we begin, in case you don't know about this city, it is connected to the great city of Detroit. Yes, Detroit, where the Ford automobile began, and you could almost call that one of the hearts of industry and industrialization in the world. And seeing as the city is right on the other side, it shares some of the same energies. So one of the common themes in both of those cities is the creation of automobiles in factories and people working in factories. Now, I'm going to do my best not to try to videotape people here, but, that's how it goes. And so this town is, I guess you want to call it they call it a blue-collar town. So there are a lot of factory jobs. And it's interesting how the mindset is around here. We'll wait for that truck to... Like, the mindset is literally like, if you get one of these factory jobs, because they pay a very high amount of money compared to a normal job, it's considered very good. And it's kind of funny because, they just because it's good money, it's considered good. Sorry, what I was going to say is it's funny because there is actually no skill involved in getting these jobs, of those ones. Like, literally, it's like a lottery where anyone can get it. Obviously, if you know somebody, then you are more likely to receive one of those jobs. But in general, it's considered to be a good thing to work at a factory where you essentially become an automized human piece of equipment for 8 hours of your life to be inside a place, and that's their life. And you sell your soul and body for money. And if you want to look at the great resources of the world, money really isn't the most valuable resource. The most valuable resource is our time. We only have a finite amount of time, and you never know when your time can be up or not. I could literally just get hit by a car right now, and that's the end of me. But, we're going to try to be smarter than that. I do kind of wish that I didn't kind of come around the cars. We're going to try to, I guess, go down here. My plan was to just walk through the middle of the downtown instead of this somewhat beautiful waterfront here. But I guess we'll go for quality over the chaos. For now, at least. Oh, and maybe we should say the galactic signature for today, too. So today is Kin 56, yellow self-existing warrior. I define in order to question, measuring fearlessness. I seal the output of intelligence with the self-existing tone of form. I am guided by the power of free will. And that's pretty nice area here. It's pretty cool to skateboard here. Done that multiple times. Jumping down there, trying to grind on that ledge. And, as we walk through, let's highlight some of the beautiful things that can happen in cities. Because, as I said before, there are some good things. And interestingly, I believe it was a book I read by the name of Where Good Ideas Come From. And they actually highlight cities as being an amazing place for the creation of ideas. Because you have different people of different cultures and different ideas and all that variety that comes together, so you can actually have more people coming across each other that normally wouldn't have crossed paths. Now, there are a lot of drawbacks too to the cities. Mainly the traffic. Now, it's a less busy time of the day right now. In rush hour in places, it can be really bad. Now, here it's not as bad as it can be in many other cities. Like the population around here is somewhere around, 350,000 in the city and another 450,000 total, 500,000 total if you take into account the people from the county, which they do commute here. And it's interesting because that's actually where I find the worst road blockages. It's like going out into the county and a road that should take only a couple minutes, as you know, can take way too long, maybe like 40 minutes. And that's the one negative aspect of life. And that aspect of life is a very common one. Like, I could only imagine the agony of living in somewhere like Los Angeles, where people get these jobs that they have to commute for 1 to 2 hours or more every single day in shoulder to shoulder or bumper to bumper traffic. And as we can see over there in Detroit, the creation is not seething. There is a new building going up there, and I believe right on the other side of that, that's the GM building. There is also another skyscraper going up over there. So that's cool. And, in city life, you kind of get accustomed to being around people and people not saying hi to each other and stuff like that. And it's just kind of normal. It's very alien. You got random things going on, like that guy over there who is looking for people to give tickets because, God forbid, you can just park somewhere for free, and that's not allowed. Why? Because the city needs to make money, and everybody's got cars, so we're going to try to make money off of everybody we can. I literally feel like it's hard for me to keep on track right now just because of where I am and the topic at hand. We got let me zoom in here, that monorail going over there. That's the people mover in Detroit. And designed to move people from place to place. And it's not only about the jobs, it's just about everything that's all together. When it comes down to the timing of everything, all the children having to go to school, it just makes it very chaotic. And there's nothing you can do about it. If you're stuck in it, and everybody's got to do their thing and be somewhere. And what can we do about it? Well, we can go live in other places, of course. That's one of the cool things that I like when I go out into some places in the county. You go on a little dirt road. That's the only reason why you would go on that dirt road is if you live on that road, or if you are looking for nature or somewhere to go to. And you drive and everybody waves at you. You're driving and they see a car, you wave, and it's really friendly. And you can imagine living in these places and actually getting to know your neighbors pretty well, and even the person who lives way down on the other side of the road really well. All right, we're doing it. I'm going into the city, though. I love this wonderful place. Lots of Rainbow Bridge meditation and galactic yoga and prayers done here. Trying to leave my fifth dimensional imprints, using the fourth dimensional other to create auric fields and deposited knowledge everywhere I go. And I kind of don't want to videotape people, so maybe I won't go that way. But there's going to be people everywhere. Like I said, it's a city. And to really peel back the layers of why it creates so much chaos and disorder is, as the book said, is it really just lack of planning? Or is it we want to get everybody here? And this is the place to be, and this is where we're going to make money. Because, let's say I live near the edge of this city. And, land and real estate, that's really what's making a whole lot of money now. And within the last couple years, they've built several huge apartment buildings right by my end of town. And even what used to be a 6-minute drive to work, when I would get off at 3 o'clock, going past the schools and everything, it would take me 15 minutes unless I go very much out of the way and, try to avoid the traffic. But everybody tries to do that. And, if somebody finds a way that's shorter or faster, it's only a matter of time before everybody wants to go that way. And hence the chaos happens. And now, there are a lot of things to the city. And the 1260 frequency is accelerated by this. It's accelerated by the want and need to get to places fast, the want to need to get goods and get what we want fast. And with this digital world, everything has been made easier. And even you can just look at Amazon and delivery and all that stuff, and you can see that more and more people, they don't want to deal with the driving, but they also want goods to arrive from everywhere else in the world. And this is the force of globalization. And essentially this globalization is what causes, once again, a lot of traffic, a lot of need for places to be gotten to and for things to be delivered from one place to another. And a great example of this is right over there. You can kind of see the Ambassador Bridge. And that, to my knowledge, is the busiest international border crossing in the entire world. More goods travel through trucks across that thing than anywhere else. And, it kind of makes sense why. If you go about 3.5 hours north of here, you'll hit Toronto. And oh my goodness. You think, that here is bad. But it's like, when I go to Toronto, it makes me really appreciate how calm it is here. And it is frantic here. So one can only imagine. I can only imagine what people would go through in a city like Mexico City or Los Angeles or New York. Imagine living in New York. I am very thankful that here I've got a lot of these parks. We have beauty and art all around. Oh, here's a great place. Another place that I've done a lot of synchrogalactic yogas, especially on Gamma Day. Pray for peace. A granite obelisk. Anyways, not to get sidetracked, but once again, we like to highlight the good and the bad because the city brings opportunities as well. But in general, the chaos that it causes stress to people. When you want to just be somewhere or not have to be somewhere, but you're forced to have to be somewhere. And next, if we want to talk about globalization and such, we can talk about the huge super corporations. And, once again, this is fueled by historical materialism, which is caused by the 1260 frequency, where time is money. And this time is money mindset creates a natural disharmony within the mind, because the programming device that is used that governs the city is chaotic by nature. The Gregorian calendar and its different months that are different numbers, and you got these holidays and all the things. And even all these holidays, even if they were rooted in good traditions, even if they were pure in nature, when it comes to existing within the matrix of the 1260 frequency, it creates monetization of it. Just look at the stores, and it goes from one type of craze to another. It goes from, let's start at Christmas, which people are gathering resources months and months in advance, going to the stores and all the things, and then, okay, that's done. Okay, we got it done. Boom, next thing, we got Valentine's Day, and then everybody needs to buy cards. Everybody needs to buy, get all the candies, get all the chocolate, show the people that you love them, even though they already know that you love them. Now, once again, we're about integrity here and integration. And one of the things that is important is that giving gifts is a valuable love language and tool, but it is not the only way. Although you don't want to just think of it and negatively and just, I'm never going to buy another gift again and never give a gift to anybody ever again. I tried it. It's not that fun. And we're just going to walk down here a bit because, as I said, art. Like, we have this beautiful hollow mind perceiver reflection in these hedges here. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe this one talks about the guy who made sure the city purchased all of these parks because he had a vision of the future. So I thank you, Roy. Oh, cool. Riverfront Warrior on the Yellow Warrior Day. Perfect. Anyways, I don't want to go off on too many tangents, and I want to try to keep things as linear and condensed as possible here. Although, is that maybe a symptom of me living in the city? Do I care so much about time that I'm so concerned about wasting other people's time, even if they're enjoying a nice stroll along the parks with me near the river? It's great when we can reflect upon things while we're in the moment. But anyways, the mindset and the great corporations that monopolize and control everything. No, not everything, but it's hard to say that they don't, especially when the biggest transfer of wealth has happened recently with the whole COVID thing. And the rate of inflation is a constant factor that just keeps increasing. And it's this exact feedback loop that keeps happening where people want to buy more things and spend more money, but the cost of things increases, and the more that the cost of things increases, the less stable people feel in regards to making that money, and it leads to people literally needing to work at these 1260 frequency jobs that they may or may not be in alignment with. And see, that's the key. It's in alignment, because I cannot say for anybody else whether they are truly meant to work at that job. Like, there are several functions of life. There are several functions of life, services, things like garbage men and stuff like that are necessary. And, you know, it could be somebody's life purpose to do that. But that is for them to question and find out for themselves. And perhaps through awareness of the 13-moon calendar, awareness of the self, and all these other tools for self-realization, people can question things enough and whether they should be doing what they are doing or not. Oh, these are my favorite signs. No trespassing. I own this. You cannot go here. Those are the best. Yeah, we're just gonna walk here because we're exploring the city today and all of its chaos. Now, there are a few other points that I wanted to get to, but this video is kind of getting a little bit too long. So I'm going to leave it at that. Maybe I'm going to make a part 2 to this. Does that sound good? Yeah. All right. Anyways. In Lakesh, namaste. Lots of love.